So to start off, I would like to ask the audience two questions. My first question is, would you rather choose organic or would you rather have genetically modified or GMO foods? Now, most people would probably answer they prefer organic foods because organic foods are commonly treated as something that's healthier. Now, my second question to the audience is, do you think this bag of soybeans is organic or do you think that it is genetically modified? Now, most people would probably say that these soybeans are organic because they look like ordinary soybeans. But these soybeans are in fact genetically modified. And according to the FDA, which is a federal agency of the Department of Health and Human Services, they state that 94% of all of the soybeans produced in the United States are in fact genetically modified. Now, most people prefer organic foods, but oftentimes people have really negative views towards genetically modified organisms, even though a lot of consumers do not even know what GMOs are. So, through explaining the different aspects regarding GMOs, in today's presentation, I would like to persuade people that GMOs are in fact beneficial. And some of the main points that I will cover today are, first, I would talk about what is a GMO. I would share some of the statistics on GMOs. I would talk about the major concerns about GMOs that people have. I would take the time to address those concerns. And finally, I would talk about the benefits of GMOs on today's society. So what is a GMO? Now, according to Purdue University, which is a prestigious public research university, they define GMOs, or genetically modified organisms, as organisms in which their genetic material, or DNA, have been altered. Now, GM crops specifically refer to engineered plants. And if we take a look at the picture on the slides, we see that on the left, we have organic apples, and on the right, we have Arctic GMO apples. And this picture clearly demonstrates that organic apples tend to oxidize really easily, whereas genetically modified apples do not. And what this means is that genetically modified apples can maintain a longer status of being fresh, meaning people can eat them for a longer period of time. And according to Purdue University, humans have been cultivating crops for centuries for better traits. People have been engineering for beneficial traits such as pest resistance or crops that can have higher yields. And on the next slide, we can see another example of GMO versus non-GMO foods. On the left, we have GMO modern corn, and on the right, we have non-GMO wild corn. And through this picture, we can clearly see that genetically modified corn produces a much higher yield so that people across the world can have more food. So now I will present some of the statistics on genetically modified organisms. Also, according to the FDA, in 2018, GMOs in the US include 95% of the canola in the US are genetically modified, 94% of the cotton is genetically modified, 92% of the feed corn, and 99.9% of all sugar beets produced in the United States are genetically modified. Now, so many of these genetically modified organisms being on the market raises a lot of concerns. According to the World Health Organization, which is a specialized agency of the United Nations that's responsible for international public health, they talk about some of the major concerns that people have about genetically modified organisms. So opponents of GMOs fear the potential risks of allergies on human health. And they also feel like GMOs are bad for the environment, and they think that GMOs can damage the soil. Now, to address these concerns, I would first like to emphasize that there has been extensive testing done on all of the GMOs produced. There are countless professionals and scientists that do research on GMOs so that they can ensure the safety of those foods being introduced to the market. And according to Brody Jane, a New York Times reporter that has done multiple articles on genetically modified organisms, she states that over 90% of the scientists believe that GMOs are completely safe. And these scientists come from organizations such as the American Medical Association or the World Health Organizations, which are two major organizations concerned about public health. And in addition to this, a Harvard study And Harvard is a prestigious university that's a leading researcher in the world. They stated that no allergic effects have been found in any of the genetically modified foods that are currently on the market. And they have also done studies that showed that GMOs are in fact drought resistant, and these drought resistance products means that it's environmentally beneficial, and that these products do not require as many nutrients from the soil, and that these genetically modified products do not require as much water. So some of the major benefits of GMO is best demonstrated through an example. Now, an example such as golden rice, which is done by the Golden Rice Project, which is a leading company in genetically modified crops. The Golden Rice Project created a genetically modified rice that contains beta carotene. And this product is called golden rice, and golden rice has been used to cure vitamin A deficiencies. And this project has helped up to 2.7 million children across the world in developing countries. So I want the audience to imagine a world without any famine, without the need for us to use pesticides or chemicals on our crops, and where the food we eat can actually help cure diseases. This world can become a reality with genetically modified organisms. And yes, it is understandable that there are potential concerns surrounding GMOs, but with sufficient testing and regulations, GMOs can provide many benefits to the environment and to millions of people today. Now, as a developed country, the United States should take responsibility in helping the world become a better place. So supporting GMOs can make this world a better place and improve the lives of developing countries and those in need.